कुंज बिहारी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गौरनिताय 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 श्री श्री गौरनिताय। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राचार्य अष्टोत्तर His Divine Grace, Abhay Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Samishla Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So welcome for today's class. So grateful to Dharmatma Prabhu opportunity and all the senior devotees. Please bless me. So today is the auspicious day of appearance, disappearance of Srila Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura. And on Mondays, anyway, we have Chaitanya Charitamrita class. So today we'll be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita and Caitanya-bhāgavata some of the wonderful pastimes about Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Let us start. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Vṛndāvana. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Vṛndāvana. Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Vṛndāvana. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 10, text number 8. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā. Matajis. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate vidita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi dui śākhā jagate. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita Ara and Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita. Dui bhāi, two brothers. Dui śākhā, two branches. Jagate, in the world. Vidita, well known. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The two brothers, Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita and Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita, started two branches that were well known in the world. Purport. In the Gaura-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā 90, Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, or is also known as Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, is described as an incarnation of Nārada Muni. And Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita, his younger brother, is said to be an incarnation of Parvata Muni, a great friend of Narada's. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita's wife, Mālinī, is celebrated as an incarnation of the nurse Ambikā, who fed Lord Kṛṣṇa with her breast milk. And as already noted, his niece, Nārāyaṇī, the mother of Ṭhākura Vṛndāvana, the author of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, was the sister of Ambikā in kṛṣṇa-līlā. We also understand from the description of Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata that after Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu's acceptance of the sannyāsa order, Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita left Navadvīpa, possibly because of feelings of separation, and domiciled at Kumārahaṭṭa. Om ajnānatimirandhasya jnānanjana-śalākaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Śrī Gurave namaha Śrī Caitanya-manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhūtale Swayam Rupa kada mahyam dadati swapadantikam Vandeham Śrī Guru Śrī Yuta padakamalam Śrī Gurun Vaishnavamsha Śrī Rūpam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Śrī Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Śrī Vishakhan Mitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita is an incarnation of Nārada Muni. This is according to Gaura-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā, which is written by Kavi Karnapur. It describes all the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and tells us that who are they in kṛṣṇa-līlā. So in this Gaura-gaṇoddeśa-dīpikā, it is said that Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita is incarnation of Nārada Muni, and his brother Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita is incarnation of Parvata Muni. You know that Nārada Muni and Parvata Muni, they were good friends. In the story of Mrigari also we see they both traveled together. So Parvata Muni came as his brother Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita and Nārada Muni came as Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. So first let us discuss a little bit about the tattva, that who is Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, and then we'll discuss some of the pastimes. We know this Pancha-tattva. Pancha-tattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So in this Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Adi Leela, chapter 7, the name of chapter 7 is Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. So this chapter explains Pancha-tattva. So who are the 5 tattvas? Pancha-tattva avatirna Chaitanya sange Pancha-tattva laya karena sankirtana range. These 5 tattvas incarnate with Lord Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and thus the Lord executes his Sankirtan movement with great pleasure. Pancha-tattva eka vastu nahi kichu bheda, rasa swadite tabu vibidha viveta. So spiritually, there are no differences between these 5 tattvas. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Yet, there are also varieties in the spiritual world, and in order to taste these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. So first of all, you must understand that they are all in the same platform, achintya bhedabhed tattva. All pancha-tattva are same. At the same time, we must know who is who. What is the famous verse? Pancha-tattvatmakam Kṛṣṇam bhakta rupa swarupakam bhaktavataram bhaktākhyam namami bhakta shaktikam. So who is bhakta rupa? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. He is the Lord who came in the form of a devotee. Who is, now next is bhakta swarupa. Who is bhakta swarupakam? Swarupa. The first expansion of the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu. Please remember. So bhakta rupa is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakta swarupa is Nityananda Prabhu. Bhakta avatar, this is very simple. Avatar, we say Advaitacharya. He is Bhakta avatar. Bhaktākhyam, known as devotee, pure devotee. Who is pure devotee in this 5? Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. And Bhakta Shaktikam. Who is Bhakta Shakti? Gadadhar Pandit. Is it clear? So please let's try to remember today. Bhakta Rupa is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bhakta Swarupa is Nityananda Prabhu. Bhakta Avatar is Advaitacharya. Bhaktākhyam is Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. And Bhakta Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhakta Rupa. He is Krishna in the form of a devotee. Nityananda Prabhu is the expansion of a devotee, Swarupa. So the first expansion of Krishna is Balaram. So Brajendra Nandan Jai Sachisuto Holo Sai Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So therefore Nityananda Prabhu is Bhakta Swarupa. And Advaitacharya is Vishnu Tattva, his incarnation of Karanoddeśa Vishnu, Mahavishnu. Therefore he is known as Bhakta Avatar. And there are many devotees, pure devotees. So, but among them Bhakta Akhyam. So Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita is counted as the chief of the devotees of the Lord. And Bhakta Shakti, they are the internal potency of the Lord. Like we have Gadadhar Pandit, Sri Damodar, Ramananda. So they are not ordinary souls, please remember. We know Krishna is external potency, internal potency and marginal potency. So Bhakta Shakti is internal potency, like Srimati Radharani, Lalita, Vishakha. They are not ordinary jivas. But marginal potency means ordinary jivas. So among those jivas, we know that some are in spiritual world, some are in material world. But among all these jivas, Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita is considered to be the chief among all the pure devotees. Okay? So, yes, so we'll just, in the same chapter, it is said, it is explained in further detail that Advaitacharya is Bhakta Avatar. So among them, one is Mahaprabhu. Who is Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are 2 Prabhus. Who are the 2 Prabhus? Advaita and Nityananda. So 2 Prabhus are serving Mahaprabhu. And these 3 Prabhus, like all these 3, Nityananda, Advaita and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they 3 are worshipped by Gadadhar and Shrivas and all the devotees. So it's clear, you understand, among 5, we can make 2 classification. 3 are worshipped and 2 are worshippers. So the worshipped are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaitacharya. And the worshippers are Gadadhar and Shrivas. So Gadadhar refers to the internal devotees in the internal potency of the Lord, and Shrivas represents the normal devotees who are marginal potency of the Lord. And he said, Shrivasyadi yato koti koti bhakta gan. So there are many devotees. Shuddha bhakta tattva madhye tasavara ganan. There are innumerable pure devotees of the Lord headed by Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, who are known as unalloyed devotees. And the devotees headed by Gadadhar Pandit are considered incarnations of internal potency of the Lord. They are confidential devotees engaged in the service of the Lord. Right? Okay. So with this background, we understood a little bit that Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura is among these Pancha-tattva, the 5 tattvas, he is representing which category? Pure devotees. Right? So now let's discuss some of the wonderful pastimes of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Okay, you want to hear? Okay. So we know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared. Where did he appear? Where did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear? Which place? Yogapīt. Just like Krishna appeared in Mathura, we can say. But where did it his pastimes? In Vṛndāvana. So it is said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Yogapīt, in the house of Sachi Mata, but most of his pastimes he did in the house of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. So Shrivas Angan is a very, very special place. It is considered to be non-different from Vṛndāvana. Because just like Krishna did Rasa Līlā in Vṛndāvana, so the Sankirtan Līlā happened mostly in the house of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. So you can see the great fortune of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. In his house, Mahaprabhu did all the pastimes, his confidential pastimes. So we'll discuss some of these confidential pastimes, his Sankirtan pastimes from Caitanya-bhāgavata. So it is said that Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, he was born in Srihatta. Have anyone of you been to Srihatta? I think in Bangladesh. Srihatta is in Bangladesh, I think. So he appeared in Srihatta and later he moved with his brothers to Navadvīpa. And Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita was very good friend of Jagannath Mishra. Who is Jagannath Mishra? Father of Mahaprabhu. So you can say Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura was kind of uncle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Like the age of uncle. So from very childhood, Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura has a lot of Vatsalya bhav for Mahaprabhu. In fact, it is said that Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita was also one of the devotees who prayed to the Lord to come here. We know that Advaitacharya prayed, "Oh Lord, please come. The people in age of Kali are so fallen. Unless you come, nobody can deliver them." So Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura also prayed. So he is also one of the reasons for Lord to appear. He also prayed intensely for the appearance of the Lord. And when the Lord appeared, Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, Haridas Ṭhākura, Advaita, they were dancing jubilantly because in the mind they understood that the Lord has appeared. And the wife of Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, what is her name? Mālinī Devi. Please remember, the wife of Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura is Mālinī Devi. So Mālinī Devi was good friend of Sachi Mata. So when Nimai was born, all the ladies went to give their blessings. So we know Advaitacharya's wife Sita Thakurani, she also went. And Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura's wife, Mālinī Devi, also went to give her blessings and auspicious articles to small Nimai. So nice description is there. Mālinī Devi went there. And so we can say that Śrīvāsa and Mālinī, they acted as a spiritual uncle and aunt of Nimai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it is said that once Śrīvāsa also chastised Nimai. Because we know that in the young days, Nimai was a great Pandit, great scholar. He was not exhibiting signs of devotee. He was always arguing, debating and defeating everyone. So Śrīvāsa one told him, "Nimai, what are you doing? You are so learned. But what is the essence of all the scriptures? What is the essence of all the scriptures? Krishna Bhakti. So you are studying all the scriptures, you are mastering all the scriptures, but you are not practicing bhakti, so what is the use?" So who is telling? Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita chastising Nimai. And Nimai very humbly told, "Oh my dear Śrīvāsa, you please bless me so that one day I can also become a devotee." Of course, this is Mahaprabhu's transcendental pastimes. We know that when he went to Gaya, and after coming back from Gaya, Nimai Pandit became what? No longer Nimai Pandit. He became a great devotee. Of course, he is Krishna himself, but in his pastimes, he showed this one aspect of Nimai Pandit, but went to Gaya, took initiation from Ishwarpuri, and when he came back, he was completely transformed. All the time tears were flowing from his eyes. All the time he was just chanting Krishna's names. Completely transformed person. And when this news reached all the Vaishnavas, they were very, very happy. Oh, Nimai has become a great Vaishnav. A great celebration. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, Śrī Rāma Paṇḍita, Ramai Paṇḍita, they all felt so happy that Nimai has become a devotee. Finally, we are so happy. And then Nimai started his Sankirtan pastimes. And he chose Śrīvāsa Angan. Imagine, out of all places in Navadvīpa, he chose Śrīvāsa Angan to be the place of his everyday Sankirtan pastime. So today we will read from Caitanya-bhāgavata how he did Sankirtan in Śrīvāsa Angan. So this is Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-līlā chapter 8. Shri Harivasa re Hari Kirtana Vidhana Nitya Arambhila Prabhu Jagatera Prana. On the day of Shri Hari Vasar, which is observed by chanting the names of Hari, the Lord, who is the life of the entire world, began to dance. So Hari Vasar means Ekadashi, Janmashtami. They are very special days where whole day we should spend in chanting, hearing and doing special services for the Lord. Punyavanta Shrivas Angane Shubharambha Uthila Kirtana Dhvani Gopala Govinda. The auspicious inauguration of chanting the names of Gopal and Govinda took place in the courtyard of the most pious Shrivas. So Punyavanta Shrivas. Just see how Shrivas Pandit is so fortunate, so Punyavanta, that in his house Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inaugurated the Sankirtan movement, chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Usha khale hoite nitya kare Vishwambhara, yutha yutha hoila yata gayana sundara. Vishwambhara began dancing from the time of sunrise, and the devotees sang sweetly in various groups. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita laya eka sampradaya, Mukunda laya ara janakata gaya. One group was headed by Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, and another group was headed by the chanting of Mukunda. So Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita was a good singer also. So there were various groups of kirtans, right? So one group of kirtan was headed by Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, another by Mukunda. We know Mukunda was a very nice singer. Another group was headed by Govinda Ghosh. Like that. The different groups of devotees, and they all chanted and did wonderful kirtan. And who was dancing? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dhariya bulena nityananda mahabali alakshita advaita layana padadhuli. So, and Nityananda Prabhu always used to protect the Lord, because in his ecstasy he was dancing, sometimes falling down. Nityananda Prabhu used to protect him. And Advaita Acharya sometimes secretly took the dust from Lord's lotus feet. Gadadhara adiyata sajalanayane anande vibhala hoila prabhura kirtane. The eyes of the devotees headed by Gadadhar filled with tears as they became overwhelmed with ecstasy in the Lord's kirtan. Sunaha chalisa pada prabhura kirtana ye vikara nache prabhu jagata jivana. Now here the next 40 verses which describe how the Lord, who is the life and soul of the entire universe, danced in ecstasy during kirtan. So we all know that Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy, but how he danced, let us hear today. The wonderful description from Vrindavan Das Thakur of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should dance in the courtyard of Shrivas, Shrivāsa Angan. Please hear nicely. Chaudike Govinda Dhvani Sachira Nandana Nache Range Vivala Hoila Saba Parishada Sange. The name of Govinda vibrated in all directions as the son of Sachi became overwhelmed while dancing in ecstasy with his associates. Yakhana Kandaye Prabhu Prahar ke Kande Lotaya Bhumete Kesha Taha Nahi Bandhe. Whenever the Lord cried, he cried for 3 hours. His hair became untied and scattered on the floor. Imagine. So Mahaprabhu cried for 3 hours. That was his crying. And his hair became scattered. He didn't care for his hairs because Nimai had long, beautiful hairs. During sannyas, the hair was shaved. Se krandana dekhi hena kono kastho ache na pade bivhala hoya se prabhura kache. Only a person whose heart is made of wood would not become overwhelmed and fall to the ground upon seeing the Lord's crying. That means anybody whose heart is not made of wood or steel would melt on seeing the crying of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yakhana hasaye Prabhu Maha hasa sei hoya prahar ke ananda vilasa. When the Lord began laughing in ecstasy. So sometimes Lord used to cry, sometimes he used to laugh. He would continue laughing for 3 hours. Just imagine. Mahaprabhu used to cry for 3 hours and also laugh and loudly laugh. Like that. He used to laugh. 3 hours. Dasya bhave Prabhu nija mahimana jane jinilu boli uthe ghane ghane. The Lord forgot his own glories as he became absorbed in the mood of a servant. He repeatedly explained, I have conquered, I have conquered. The Lord, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he forgot that he is the Lord himself. He was the mood of a devotee. And what he was saying, I have conquered, I have conquered. Because the devotees always conquer the Lord. Jitam ati harshena. This is a shloka. Jitam ati harshena kadachid yukto vadati tat anukranam karoti jitam iti. When Mahaprabhu chanted in great ecstasy, I have conquered, I have conquered. The devotees also imitated him by chanting, I have conquered, I have conquered. Kshane kshane apane ye gaya uchadhvani brahmanda bhedaya yena hena mata shuni. Sometimes the Lord sang so loudly that the sound vibration pierced the covering of the universe. Imagine, so loudly Mahaprabhu was chanting that the holy names pierced the coverings of the universe. Kshane kshane hoya anga brahmandera bhara dharite samartha keho nahe anuchara. Sometimes his body became as heavy as the universe. Then none of his followers could hold him still. Sometimes his body became as heavy as universe and nobody could hold him. Kshane hoya tula hoite atyanta patala harishe kariya kandhe bulaye sakala. Sometimes he would become as light as cotton. Sometimes we see these contradictory moods, right? Sometimes he used to cry for 3 hours. Sometimes he used to laugh for 3 hours. Sometimes he became so heavy that nobody could lift him. And sometimes he became as light as cotton. Cotton just floats in the air, right? And then devotees used to carry him on their shoulders. Mahaprabhu. Prabhura kariya kandhe bhāgavata gana purnananda hoi kare angane brahmana. The pure devotees happily carried the Lord on their shoulders and wandered around the courtyard. Just imagine, Kirtan is going on in ecstasy, devotees carrying the Lord on their shoulders and doing Kirtan. So let's little bit try to imagine the scene in the house of Shrivasangan. Yakhaneya hoya Prabhu anande murchita karna mule sab hari bole ati bhita. Whenever the Lord fell unconscious to the ground out of ecstasy, the devotees became frightened and chanted the name of Hari in his ear. So whenever the Lord used to faint, the devotees used to go near him and chant loudly, Hari Hari. Or they used to chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kshane kshane sarva ange haya mahakampa mahashite bhaje yena balakera danta. Sometimes his entire body shook vigorously like a boy's teeth chattering due to excessive cold. Sometimes his body used to shake. Like chattering of the teeth. Sometimes in winter, the teeth sometimes chatters. So like that his body was shaking. Kṣane kṣane mahasveda haya kalevara murti mati ganga yena aila sharira. Sometimes his body perspired in such a way that it appeared that the Ganga was flowing from his body. So much perspiration was coming as if river Ganga was flowing. Kakhanava haya anga jvalanta anala dite matra malayaja sukhaya sakala. Sometimes his body became as hot as a blazing fire, and when sandalwood pulp was smeared on his body, it dried immediately. Chandan cools the body. But sometimes his body used to become so heated that even chandan used to evaporate in the heat. Imagine. Shane kshane adbhuta va haya mahasvasa samukha chadiya sabe haya eka pasha. Sometimes the Lord would sigh heavily, like that, sigh heavily. And everyone would move out of his breath. Kshaneyaya sabara charana dhari bare palaya vaishnava gana charidike dare. Sometimes he tried to catch everyone's feet and the Vaishnavas ran away out of fear. Imagine Chaitanya Mahaprabhu trying to touch everyone's feet and all the devotees run away because they didn't want Mahaprabhu to touch their feet. Shani Nityananda ange prishtha diya vase charana tuliya sabha kare chahi hase. Sometimes to sit leaning against Nityananda. So Mahaprabhu used to lean against Nityananda. And sometimes he lifted his feet, looked at everyone and smiled. Bujhiya ingita sava bhāgavata gana lutaye charana dhuli apurva ratana. Understanding the intention of the Lord, all the devotees stole the wonderful jewel-like dust from the Lord's lotus feet. Sometimes he show his lotus feet to everyone. And devotees understood now Lord is giving permission. So they all came and took the dust of his lotus feet. Acharya Gosai bole are chora bhangila shakala tora bhari bhuri mora. Acharya Gosai said, my dear thief, we have broken into your hidden treasury. Because normally Mahaprabhu was not giving his dust. So today he is saying, oh thief, now you are giving it freely. Mahanande Vishwambhara Gada Gadi Yaya Chari Dike Bhakta Gana Krishna Guna Gaya. Vishwambhara rolled on the ground in ecstasy as all the devotees sang the glories of Krishna on all the sides. Yakhana Udanda Nache Prabhu Vishwambhara Prithivi Kampita Haya Sabapaya Dara. When Lord Vishwambhara danced madly, the earth shook and everyone became frightened. Imagine, when Lord was dancing, the earth was shaking and everybody became afraid. Imagine if there's earthquake, obviously become afraid. So earth started shaking. Kakhonava madhura nachay Vishwambhara yena dekhi nandera nandana natavara. Sometimes Vishwambhara danced so sweetly, it resembled the enchanting dance of Nanda's son. So sometimes you dance widely, jump high, and sometimes very sweetly, shaking like in a slide, very graciously to dance. And that time he was looking like Nanda Nandan, son of Nanda Maharaj. Because we know that Krishna is Natavara. Varaha Pida Natarvapu Kannayo Kannikaram Bibhradvasha Kanakapisham Vajantim Chamalam Randhran Venu Radhasudhaya Puren Gopa Vrindir Vrindaranyam Sapadaramanam Pravishat Kirti Kirti. Oh, Krishna is known as Natavar, and playing his sweet flute, he dances very graciously. Or sometimes Mahaprabhu should dance very graciously, sweetly, like Krishna, and sometimes should dance like a madman, jumping high, and that time the earth used to shake. Kakhanava kare koti simhe rahunkara karna raksha hetu sava anugraha tara. Sometimes his roaring resembled that of millions of lions. Imagine, he used to roar loudly like lion. But by his mercy, the ears of the devotees were saved. Because if thousands of lions roared together, our eardrum will be damaged. But the Lord protected the eardrums also. So he is the ultimate protector. Prithivira alaga ho yakshane yaya keho va dekho keho dekhite na paya. Sometimes when he walked above the ground. Some persons saw it and while others could not. So sometimes while walking, he used to walk in the air, not touching the ground. Bhavaveshe pakalalochane yara chaya mahatrasa payase hasya palaya. In his ecstasy, whoever the Lord looked at with his red eyes would become frightened and then run away while laughing. Bhavaveshe chanchala hoya vishwambhara nache na vifala hoya nahi para para. Vishwambhara became agitated in ecstasy and danced, forgetful of his self and others. Bhavaveshe ekabara dhare yara paya ara bara puna tara uthaya mathaya. In ecstasy, he had to catch the feet of someone and then climb on his head. Shane yara gala dhari kare ekrandana shane te tathaka kande kare arohana. Sometimes he used to cry while embracing someone around the neck, and then the next moment he would climb on his shoulders. Kshane haya balya bhave parama chanchala mukhe vadya vaya yena choyaya shakala. Sometimes he would become extremely restless in the mood of a child and make various childish noises in his mouth. You know, just like children, they make some noises. So he used to behave like a small child. Charana nachaya kshane khala khala hase janu gati chale kshane balaka aveshe. Sometimes he shook his feet and laughed exuberantly. Sometimes he crawled on the knees like a small child. You know, like small children, they crawl on the knees. Sometimes Mahaprabhu was in the mood of a small baby Kṛṣṇa, and he was crawling in the courtyard of whose courtyard? Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Kshane kshane hoya bhava tribhanga sundara prahareke sei mata thake Vishwambhara. Sometimes Vishwambhara became absorbed in the mood of Kṛṣṇa in his beautiful threefold bending form. He remained in that state for 3 hours. For 3 hours he used to stand in the pose of Kṛṣṇa, threefold bending form. Shane dhyana kari kare muralira chanda sakshat dekhiya yena Vṛndāvana chandra. Sometimes he would become absorbed in meditation and play a flute. Then he appeared exactly like Kṛṣṇa, the moon-like Lord of Vrindavan. Bahya pai dasya bhave karo ekrandana dante trina kari chahe charana sevana. On regaining his external consciousness, he would cry in the mood of a servant. He would hold straw between his teeth and beg for the service of the Lord's lotus feet. Chakrakriti hoi kshane prahareke phire apana charana giya lage nija shire. Sometimes he whirled in a circle for 3 hours. Sometimes devotees dance in circle, move around. Like that he used to move around for 3 hours. And sometimes he danced in such a way that his feet touched his head. You know, sometimes when he danced, lift one leg. In such a way he was dancing, his leg was touching his head. So this is a very wonderful section I am reading because sometimes it's good to meditate how the Lord was dancing. So this wonderful description given by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Yakhane ye bhave hoya sei adbhuta nija nama nande nache Jagannatha suta. Whatever mood the Lord exhibited was most wonderful. The son of Jagannath Mishra danced in the ecstasy of chanting his own holy names. Ghane ghane hunkaraya sarva anga nade napare hoite sthira prithvite pade. Sometimes he wrote so loudly that his entire body trembled. Unable to remain steady, he then fell to the ground. Although Lord's complexion was golden, he sometimes appeared in various colors. Sometimes his 2 eyes doubled in size. Imagine, in ecstasy, the color of Lord's body was changing. Normally his Gauranga is golden, but sometimes it used to become pinkish, whitish like that. His color of the body used to change. And sometimes his eyes used to become double in size. In this way, the Lord became absorbed in the transcendental mood of a Vaishnava and spoke in words that did not fit him. So in this way, that's such a wonderful description of Lord's dancing in the courtyard of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita is mentioned. The sounds of mridangas, wampers, conches and karatals mixed with their congregation chanting of the holy names. Mridanga mandira baje shankha karatal sankirtana sange saba hoila mishal. Brahmanda bhedila dhvani puriya akash chaudigera amangala yaya sabanash. The sound of Sankirtan filled the sky and pierced the covering of the universe. all inauspiciousness in the 4 directions was vanquished. When we chant the holy names loudly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, all inauspiciousness, amangal is destroyed in all directions. Upward, all 10 directions, downward, all the inauspiciousness is destroyed. In this way, the Lord danced wonderfully in the courtyard of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Who can describe the wonderful glories of the Lord? So in this way, the wonderful description is given by Vṛndāvana Thakur. And Vṛndāvana is saying, oh, I am so sinful that I did not take birth that time. I could not see the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And in this way, every day the Lord used to dance in the courtyard of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. And once he told, why we'll waste our time in sleeping in the night? Let's do kirtan in the night also. So 24-hour kirtan started in the house of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. And such wonderful kirtan was going on every day, 24 hours. But that time, Mahaprabhu allowed only devotees. He didn't allow non-devotees to come to the house of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. So those who were not allowed to see the pastimes, some of them, they used to feel, oh, I am not fortunate, I am not able to enter the kirtan. But materialist people, they started criticizing. They spoke harsh words. They said, what? These people, they are simply filling their bellies. They are begging. They are not opening the door. Sometimes some people said, oh, these people, they are drinking wine in the night and doing all illicit activities. That is why they are not opening the door. Some people said, Arey, this Nimai was such a nice scholar earlier. What has become to me? He has become a madman. People said, oh, this is bad association. Nimai has fallen into bad association. So like that, different people used to spread different rumors. So in this way, we can see different people, they spoke different words. So there are many pastimes. Now we'll just quickly summarize 1 or 2 pastimes. So there is one pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita that one of the person, Gopal Chapal, so he was not allowed inside. So he was very envious. He watched Shrivas, he's getting so much of honor, prestige, and he became very envious. So what he did, outside Shrivas' house, he kept all dirty things like liquor, meat and other things which are used to worship goddess Kali. So that in the morning, people will see, oh, Shrivas, then he told, in the morning he showed people, see what Shrivas is doing. And you know what Shrivas said? He didn't defend himself. What Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura told? Yes, I am doing all this, I am so fallen. So this is the mood of a Vaishnava. Sometimes even if you are criticized for not doing something wrong, a pure devotee like Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, he doesn't protest, he simply agrees. Okay, yes, I have done. But who doesn't tolerate this? The Lord. And Lord became so angry. And this Gopal Chapal, he got severe leprosy. He was removed outside the village and he was suffering. And once Mahaprabhu came and Gopal Chapal said, oh Lord, you are Patita Pavan, please deliver me. The Lord said, you rascal, you will not be delivered for millions of births. Worms will eat your body because you have offended my pure devotee Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura. So this is how the Lord is so strict about Vaishnava Aparadha. But later, after many years, the Lord again came back to Kulinagram. He forgave Gopal Chapal. Another time, one devotee, Devanand Pandit, he committed offense at the feet of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita. Because Devanand Pandit was giving Bhagavad Katha. And Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita once came. And when he heard Krishna's pastimes, he became into ecstasy. He started crying and rolling in the ground. And his foolish disciples, they thought, Arey, what is this mad person? He's creating disturbance. So they picked him up and took him outside the class. But this fellow, Devanand Pandit, he didn't stop them. That was his offense. So you see how subtle. Sometimes you may not commit offense, but you see somebody else is doing, and if you are there, your duty is to stop. So Devanand Pandit didn't stop. So Mahaprabhu became very angry. He said, this Devananda Pandit, foolish fellow, he thinks that he's a great learned speaker of Bhagavatam. He offended my pure devotee. So Mahaprabhu also became very angry with Devanand Pandit. But Devanand Pandit was forgiven when he served Vakreshwar Pandit. So that is another lesson. That if you serve a Vaishnava, then by that you nullify your Vaishnava aparadha. Once what happened, now because 5 minutes is there, I'll just speak some pastimes from memory. Once, you know that everybody was not allowed. So once mother-in-law of Shrivas, she requested, mother-in-law, you have to listen to them. Those who are married, that for women or men, mother-in-law is very important person. So mother-in-law requested that please allow me to have darshan of the Lord. Shiva said, okay, you can hide and watch. But Mahaprabhu, when he started dancing, he said, today something is wrong. I am not feeling the ecstasy. So then he understood that somebody who is not worthy to see this dancing, he is here. He or she is here. Then Shrivas went immediately and caught the hair of his mother-in-law and took her outside. Get out from here. You are not qualified to be here. Once, one milk-drinking Brahmana was there, Brahmachari. He was only drinking milk, nothing else. So he requested Shrivas, please allow me, please allow me. Shiva said, okay, he's very pure Brahmachari. Okay, you can hide in one corner and watch. Then again, Mahaprabhu started dancing, but he said, today I am not feeling that ecstasy. Some unqualified person is inside. Then Shrivāsa Paṇḍita, Mahaprabhu, I am sorry, without your permission allowed. One brahmachari, but he's so pure. He drinks only milk. He's such a great, he does so much austerity. And Mahaprabhu became angry. Well, what? You think by doing tapasya, by doing austerity, by drinking milk, one is qualified to see my pastimes? Mahaprabhu said, no. He said, only by pure devotion one can see my pastime. And he said, remove this fellow. But then Mahaprabhu saw, because he is Antaryami, he saw that this brahmachari, he was not offended. He didn't feel bad. What this Nimai thinks of himself? He's removing me like that. No, he was very grateful. And he felt, oh, at least I could have darshan of Mahaprabhu. And he was having a lot of nice feelings in his heart. So then Mahaprabhu understood, it's okay, he can stay. So like that, so many wonderful pastimes happened in the house of Shrivāsa Ṭhākura. And Nityananda Prabhu, where he used to stay? In the house of Shrivāsa Ṭhākura. And he used to treat Mālinī as his mother. Sometimes it is said out of affection, Mālinī used to feed milk to Nityananda Prabhu, imagine, as a child, in the form of a child. And once Mahaprabhu tested Shrivas. He said, Shrivas, we don't know who is this Nityananda, from where he is coming, he is Avaduta, we don't know his background. He sometimes acts in a very strange way. You are such a learned Brahmana Pandit, why you are keeping him in your house? Then Shiva smiled, oh Lord, you are testing me. Nityananda is so dear to you that even if he goes to wine shop, even if he does most abominable activities, still I will worship Nityananda. And Mahaprabhu became very happy, embraced Shrivas. Shrivas, today you made me very happy. You have so much faith on Nityananda. Once, Shrivas Pandit's wife, Mālinī, she used to make Aarti plate for worshipping the Lord. And Shrivāsa Ṭhākura used to come and worship the Lord. So once she made a nice Aarti plate and she had a small cup with ghee and lamp for doing Aarti. A crow came and took that small container having ghee lamp. And Mālinī started crying, oh, now my husband will come, he'll shout at me, he cannot do his service. So she started crying. And Nityananda Prabhu was there. He said, don't worry. He clapped. He said, oh crow, come back, give the ghee pot. The crow came back and gave the ghee container. And Mālinī then offered prayers. Oh my Lord, you are Balaram himself. What is the big thing for you to order a small crow to come and give ghee lamp? Even Brahma, Shiva, they follow your orders. So like that, so many wonderful pastimes happened in the courtyard of Shrivāsa Paṇḍita. I just end with one small pastime, which is a very heart-touching pastime. Once, when Kirtan was going on, Shriva's son, he died. And of course, the lady started crying. Young son, he died. And Mahaprabhu's Kirtan was going on. And when Shrivas heard the news, he immediately went inside the room. And he told his wife and all the other ladies that there is no need to cry. The child is so fortunate. that he left his body when Mahaprabhu was dancing in Kirtan in the presence of the Supreme Lord. He's so fortunate. And if you cry, I will go and drown in the Ganges. Because I don't want that Mahaprabhu should be disturbed in his ecstasy. So hearing his words, everybody stopped crying. And Mahaprabhu was dancing and dancing. But he felt, after some time he stopped. He said, today I am not feeling that ecstasy. Looks like something wrong has happened. Something inauspicious has happened today. Then the devotee said, oh my Lord, the son of Shrivas, he has left his body. Then Mahaprabhu said, what? Shrivas? He told Shrivas, your son has left the body. And still you are doing kirtan, you are not telling me also. Mahaprabhu, he said, wow, how can I give up the company of my devotees like Shrivas? And then Mahaprabhu immediately went inside the house and he himself saw the dead son. And Mahaprabhu told the son, get up, get up. And the son rose back to life. Just like Chitraketu Maharaj, his son Harshashoka. Nārada Muni came and told, rise. So Mahaprabhu said, get up. And the son rose. He was alive again. And the son paid obeisance to Mahaprabhu. I am so fortunate. I had your darshan. But now, as per my karma, I have to go to next body. And then he again was dead. And then Mahaprabhu himself went with the child's body, with all the devotees doing Sankirtan, and did the final rites of the child. And then Mahaprabhu told that day, don't worry Shrivas, you lost one son, but you have two sons now, me and Nityananda. So in that way, we can see that Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura had such wonderful, sweet relationship with Mahaprabhu, one of the intimate associates of Mahaprabhu, one of the Pancha-tattva. So today let us pray for the mercy of Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita, because the mercy of Pancha-tattva is very important. In Kali Yuga, we have no qualification to do bhakti. It's only by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. And you see Srila Prabhupada's purport, he all the time tells that we should not worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone. We should always worship Pancha-tattva. He always stresses the point, we should not chant the name of only Gauranga, we should chant the name of Pancha-tattva. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Śrīvāsa Gaura-bhakta Vṛndāvana. So on his auspicious day of disappearance of Śrīvāsa Ṭhākura, let us pray for his mercy so that we can also get a drop of devotion for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Śrīvāsa Paṇḍita ki jai, Pancha-tattva ki jai, Shri Gaura-nitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments anybody has? Okay, yes, Mataji. Okay, so Mālinī, because a good question, Nārada Muni is a brahmachari. That's why we read in the purport that Mālinī Devi is incarnation of Ambikā, one of the nurses in kṛṣṇa-līlā. Right? So very interesting that Nārada Muni, although brahmachari, but in Gaura-līlā he became grihastha. So we can see in Mahaprabhu's Līlā there is no distinction between brahmachari and grihastha. It's a nice point, yes. So Mālinī Devi is incarnation of Ambikā, nurse of Krishna. Okay, last question. Anybody? Yes, yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Can we have some detail about what was his consciousness for cry 3 hours? What he was thinking for cry during 3 hours or love during 3 hours?
I'm sorry, I could not hear.
Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crying for 3 hours?
Crying? Oh yeah. Of course he is. Okay, good question. Why Mahaprabhu was crying for 3 hours? Because he is in the mood of devotee, in the mood of Radharani. So sometimes feeling separation of Krishna, he used to cry. Just like when Krishna left to Vrindavan, Radharani used to always cry. It is said that by his tears, a small pond was formed wherever she was standing. She was crying so much. So in the mood of Radharani, feeling separation of Krishna, Mahaprabhu used to cry. And sometimes he used to think that, oh, I met Krishna. He was laughing loudly in ecstasy that today I have met Krishna. He was feeling that today I have lost Krishna. He was crying. Okay? Good question. Okay? You have a question? Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.